So hello everybody, it's Smeep here coming at you one more time from the Game Throne, and today I have a special guest with me. Let me just turn this volume down. There we go. So today I have the YamYamMan with me from his YouTube channel, the YamYamMan. Say hello, YamYamMan.
Hi, it's the flip-flop.
What?
Flip-flop, Jürgen, flip-flop.
So I know the YamYamMan in real life, but he's got himself a channel where he uploads quite frequently, actually, don't you?
Yeah, like, fucking hell, anything I play, like, I just try to record, like, you know, because I have no friends, so I might as well just force it onto people, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the internet is a place for people with no friends to have friends.
Yeah, you know, if there was no internet, I'd be dunk.
Fucking
gym! He's going in the gym.
There you go.
Oh, so what's the gist with this then? Like, what was you playing? I'm guessing it's yellow because Pikachu seems to be stalking you like Scissor Man.
That's correct. Yes, Pikachu is indeed stalking me like Scissor Man. So I have set out on a mission a very long time ago to basically complete the Pokédex for every single Pokemon game that exists. Well, every single mainstream Pokemon game that exists. I'm not doing that shit on fucking Pokemon Pinball or whatever it was called.
Yeah, oh yes, bloody hell, what the hell was that? There's a new one coming out, isn't there? Like, I'm sure there's for the Switch. I want to get myself one of those.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a Switch as well.
Well, mainly because I don't do DS games anymore. I was pretty shocked about it because I thought the 3DS was bang on.
What, they've stopped doing DS games?
Yeah. You can't get no new stuff now. Like, I'm sure of it because like you know, I know a few who play it and well, there's not, you go in game, there's no sections for them or anything like that. I'm sure they discontinue it because they've obviously gone for the Switch. Yeah, mental. Like, you know, look at the Game Boy. How long did the original Game Boy last? It was like years, and you know, you still got. You turn on your old Game Boy now, it'll work as well. It's a shame, like.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
are you playing on an emulator or is it?
No, so everything's going to be done on real hardware. So
then you'll have to show me that because then I'm guessing you're able to trade Pokemon.
Yes, that's why I want to do it on real hardware. So I've got it through a SNES with a Super Game Boy attached to the SNES and Pokémon Yellow in the Super Game Boy. But I've learned recently, as far as I know, there's a similar adapter for a GameCube, which I might try and find one because I imagine it's going to give me a better picture than this. As you can see, it's quite blurry.
Yeah. It's still decent. It's still good enough, you know. But I mean, I can see. Yo, he just smashed you.
Yeah, he did, man. But you gotta.
That's super effective, and that did jack to him.
Innit?
a 20 Pikachu against a 21 Starmie. That should have. What's happened with that? That should have been a one hit. Like that should have at least put him critical.
I would have said so as well.
Ding ding, not you.
Don't forget it is a second evolution, so it might have higher defense.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, it's not the base Pokemon, is it? But yeah, what was it? I was saying, SNES. Oh, the picture. You got to remember as well. Obviously, it would have been like the size of your thumb, the original image. You know what I mean? It would have been a lot smaller than this, so that explains why it doesn't look so great when it's blown up. But hey, it's serviceable. It does its job.
I was going to say one of the videos from Angry Game Nerds in the Massacre, like I've seen them playing around with the Super Game Boy, and like how you got your border, you can design your border and everything. To be fair, I don't think they actually played any games because it's just they kept having fun with the borders, like drawing dicks and stuff like.
Well, what's art for if not to draw a penis?
But is that a border? Have you done that border? Was that something that come with it?
Comes with it when you put the game in.
Pretty detailed, that is.
No, mate, I don't draw that. Definitely not. No, it comes like it detects certain games, especially first party games.
I thought it would do something like that. Like, what else have you been playing then anyway? Have you done any of the early ones so far, or is this what you've gone for?
This is it. So just Pokemon Yellow. I've got copies of Red and Blue, so we can trade stuff across. Because obviously certain Pokemon you can only get in the other ones, and certain Pokemon only evolve by trading. So
I'll have to have a look, see if I've still got like my old silver and stuff like that, and if so, I'll send it you then, like.
Well, dude, it'd be even better because if I've got gold or whatever, then if you've got the spare time to play Pokemon Silver and catch the Pokemon, then we'll just trade them in real life. The only thing I
Yeah,
need
yeah,
to...
if you want to do something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it must be in a, like, it's going to be in the loft in a carrier bag somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the only thing I've got to do, really, is film the trade going on, like using a phone or something, so that people know I haven't hacked it into the game.
Wasn't them the ones where it first started with giving them items and, like, you know, you've got to trade your Onyx to get Steelix and stuff like that?
Yeah, I think that was the Gold and Silver series. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so, man. What else you been playing?
Well, just before we jump on it, if not, I think I might have 2 copies of Silver anyway, because I bought one on eBay the other day. I got Gold and Silver for 20 quid. I was like, yo, smash that.
So you've just completely dumped on what I've just said. Me trying to sound nice and generous.
Yeah, but what I mean is you can use it, can't you? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Other games I've been playing, to be honest, not a lot, although I have just started playing, somebody's done a mod of the later Pokemon games and turned it into an MMO.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, fucking hell, that's pretty sweet.
I bet that, I'm surprised something like that hasn't kicked off already, to be honest. That'd be... They could easily do that as a pay monthly thing, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm surprised something like that's not been done, like how you know how you used to do Ultimate Online and stuff. You could have a massive poker universe sort of thing. Oh, speaking of this, oh, I can't believe this, right? I watched 107 facts about South Park, right?
Right.
Remember the episode of South Park with about Pokemon?
Yeah.
Do you remember what they were called?
Chin Pokemon.
Do you know what Chin Pokemon means?
No idea.
Penis monsters.
Top stuff.
I had a comment and I was saying like 108. I bet you never realised that in the first few episodes, Stan's mom was called Karen. Not Sharon.
Really?
Sharon.
Really? Is that true?
Yeah. Watch it. Watch the episode Death. You know, while they're flinging themselves at the thing. Stan rings up to say, "Oh, Death's chasing us."
Yeah.
Kyle's mum answers and goes, "Oh, Karen, your son's on the phone."
Oh, what the hell? I had no idea. There you go. Every day is a school day, and for the few listeners we do get, you've just learned something new, hopefully, because I have.
And especially about penis monsters, you know what I mean?
So yeah,
a cheap Pokemon that you're gonna run it, yeah.
Definitely, 100%. But yeah, Pokemon MMO is just a ROM hack of the later games, and they've made it multiplayer. I mean, it's pretty sweet, to be honest. I've played it for about 4 hours straight yesterday. So I was like, this is really good.
Today. I'll have a look into that.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward to get set up, but I can give you the help if you need it.
Well, look into it, you know.
But yeah, very good.
Do some videos on that as well. Okay, I'm just surprised something like that's never been set up earlier.
I know, yeah. I said it.
£1 million idea right there.
Exactly. I said it years ago. They should have done it like a proper one. I didn't start with it. Okay, right. So, but the place where I am now, in the previous video, I showed everyone how to catch a Mew, in air quotes, legitimately. And you can do it in all of them, but it's easiest in Pokemon Yellow. And it basically, by doing a set of things. Do you remember the missing no glitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you had to like talk to the old man and then fly to the Cinnabar Island and then surf up and down, and you could get like level 140 Pokemon and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a similar idea, but basically that bridge I just walked across, Nugget Bridge, you have to ignore the trainer on the far left, leave him like to his own devices, go towards where the daycare centre is, which is just around the corner from here, catch an Abra, then you have to walk in front of that trainer on purpose, and I think I've missed a step here, but I've explained it in a different video.
Yeah.
Walk in front of him on purpose and quickly pause it before the fight starts, because he's off screen and you walk onto the screen at the same time he recognises you.
Yeah.
And then teleport away with the Abra. Then you go and fight some other dude who's got a specific Pokemon with a specific stat, which basically saves that stat into the game, which essentially is writing code. So you're recoding the game by playing it.
No way.
And then when you walk back to where that guy is on the bridge, the fight that should have triggered triggers, but instead of fighting him, you fight a wild Mew.
No way. That's pretty cool. Is he hard to catch?
No, it's just level 7 chill Pokemon. Just chuck a Pokeball at him and boom, you got him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's not. I think there's going to be something that fights back. Like, I didn't know.
No.
Does it evolve into Mewtwo?
No, Mewtwo is separate Pokemon.
Yeah, I thought so. Like, I still need. I can't believe I haven't seen Detective Pikachu yet. Like,
Me neither. I haven't seen it, but I don't really see a lot of films these days.
when I've seen Men in Black, I weren't impressed with that. I've seen Toy Story. Have you seen Toy Story?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
Is it good?
Yeah, and no, like, you know what I mean? It's not fantastic, but they did a decent job with it. They haven't ruined it.
Yeah.
Whereas with Men in Black, I think that film just, especially because of the Badoo Rip Torn dying the other day, I think has just put a shitter on it, like, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, what's annoying as well is the fact that he was actually alive while they filmed it, and they didn't have Zed in it.
Yeah.
You know, I thought, hang on, because I thought Rip Torn died a while ago.
No, it was only the other day, wasn't it?
No, when I seen it, I was like, what? Freddy's dad died, like, man, you know, don't he want no more sausages or something? Like?
He probably seen fucking the new film and then topped himself.
So definitely should have been a Freddy Got Fingered too.
Oh, God, yeah. But no, they can't do it again. Got to have the same guy in it because he was awesome as the dad, man. When he breaks...
Oh, carry on, sorry.
When he breaks his leg and like the bone's sticking out, and he goes, "Get this man a job. I mean, an ambulance."
And he's licking the bone.
So, what about you? What have you been playing?
Quite a few things recently. A game, it's like a retro indie game called Trap. Like, it's really good, really scary game. Like, and
yeah.
There's part 1 and part 2 were out, and part 3 has actually come out. And look, to be fair play to the guy because he missed his deadline. He said if you've already paid for part 2, you can have part 3 free. You'll just need to reinstall it. So
yeah,
so
that's pretty good.
Trying to finish part 3, like, because it is actually, it's a retro side-scrolling, you know, pixelated, but it is shit scary, creepy. Some good jump scares, not cheap jump scares. Good atmosphere. It's literally pennies as well, like, you know what I mean? It ain't much on Steam, like, you know, I'd recommend you have a go at that.
Yeah, what's it called? Trap?
Yeah, Trap.
Like Trapdoor, Trap.
Yeah, there's Trap. I've also been playing a game called Trapped, which is free off IO, which scared the shit out of me. Like, yeah, that video actually got me a few subscribers, like, and then there was another one where, imagine if Pac-Man was 3D and Pac-Man was chasing you.
So you play one of the ghosts.
It's called Faceman 3D. Like, it was quite creepy. The novelty wears off at first.
Yeah.
You know, it's good for a little, 20-minute laugh.
Yeah.
But, also, because like on Steam, they've done a lot of, the original PC games from like, the late 90s and stuff, like, the original Fallout, Baldur's Gate. They've also done one which I never knew of. I'd heard of it, but I'd never played it. Called I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream.
Yeah.
Where basically the world's end, like, there was a big war, and humankind made this robot to basically deal with the war. But this robot just ended up taking over the world. And then the last 5 people, there's like, and 4 guys, 1 girl, and they've all got their own demons. So he keeps them alive in a box for 109 years, torturing them, then gives them a chance to sort of, redeem themselves. And over these 109 years, he's doing all this shit. And you play like the 5 short stories through them.
Right.
Each one, like, they've got to come to terms. Like, there was one guy who, he believed he was a trucker, always away from home. His wife and her parents didn't like him. She ended up going insane. They blamed him and all this, so he kept trying to commit suicide and that. So, this monster, this machine's called Am.
Yeah.
And would prevent him from killing himself and things like that. And the woman, she got raped, so she had to, she had a fear of yellow, and you have to come to terms with it. But throughout the whole thing, you've got good and bad actions. Like, there's a little face in the corner when you do something bad.
Yeah.
There's a handsome guy who he mutilates into an ape and this and that, so he can't be so vain.
Yeah.
and there's there's a chance like you have to help a boy, and there's basically a chance where you can either eat the boy or save the boy and things like that. It's really fucked up, but it's brilliant. It's really. I wish I'd known about it earlier. Like, it is absolutely brilliant.
So that seems quite ahead of its time, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like, that's what I mean. It's brilliant for how it is, and a lot of the voice acting as well. You recognise. Like, I've been trying to put pins in it, thinking over this, over that, but it's a really good game. Like, I've been really impressed with it. Got really into it.
I'll have to check that bad boy out. So what's it called?
Yeah,
I have no mouth and I must scream, or I must.
Yeah. I have no mouth and I must scream. It's a really good. I tell you, some of the stuff in it's really like twisted and that, but like the main thing with it is you've got to try and get your good ending and come to terms with what you've done, right?
Yeah, it's point and click type game.
Yeah, like Broken Sword, simple as like, because I've got all the Broken Swords like for less than a £5.
Mate, Broken Sword, what a game series that is, man.
Yeah, the first one you just can't beat. Then there was was it like 4 or 3 that wasn't the original George Starbot? We came back for 5, didn't you?
I think he did them all. Yeah,
Nicole?
Nico changed definitely, but I'm pretty sure is it something like John St. Stevens or something like that does the voice. I can't bloody remember now.
Oh no, that's Johnson John's
Duke Nukem. What's his name? Voice. I'm on it. Voice of George Stobart. Voice of George Stobart is drums, please. Rolf Saxon.
I thought you were going to say Rolf Harris. That would have been so epic.
It says Rolf Saxon.
Speaking of Duke Nukem, have you downloaded the 20th World Anniversary Tour?
No, I haven't. No, any good?
There are 2 extra episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, with all new bad guys and everything in. Like there's one episode. Apparently, you got your first 3. Then there's one where it's more about aliens, and there's these aliens that can shrink you. Apparently, that was done before and was on the PlayStation version or something like that.
Yeah, the PlayStation one had different levels from the Saturn one.
And but the next one, there's also another gun, like the freeze thrower.
Yeah.
The incinerator, and it's a flamethrower, and it's a badass. But you also get. You remember how you used to get mini battle lords?
Yeah.
In this, you get mini overlords and mini cyclopses.
I think I watched one of your videos where you first found the mini overlord. And you were like, what the fuck was that?
The rockets were coming, and I didn't hear the fat dude, like, because, the fat dude shoots rockets. Like, huh? Shit, it's fucked. It's brilliant.
Hilarious.
Obviously, Johnson John come back for it, like. He's actually quite funny. You add him on Facebook. He's actually quite funny.
Yeah, he's a total legend as well, and he doesn't mind when people ask him to do the voice and stuff, does he?
Yeah. He's one of them. He knows this is the main thing people know about. I mean, obviously he's done loads.
Yeah,
he's done loads.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's got just such an epic. You recognise his voice anywhere, don't you? Once he does it, you're like, whoa. Fucking awesome.
Yeah, apart from when he talks normally.
Yeah, like, who the fuck are you? You're not Duke Nukem. Get the fuck away from me, paedophile.
I bet like people actually just don't even call him John. They're like, Duke!
Innit?
Duke! Titties and titties.
I mean, I've played Duke, the Xbox 360 one. What was that called? Was it just called Duke Nukem? I think it was. It was alright.
It was basic. I thought it got slated more than it should have.
Yeah, it's a game.
They tried to modernise it too much. I think they should have just stuck to basics. But the fact that the first thing, there's a whiteboard, you can grab a pen and draw a penis, and
exactly.
you can pick a turd up out of the toilet.
Yeah, and you get an achievement for doing it. Yeah.
What was the problem?
No, exactly. The only thing I would have changed is I would have made it so you didn't, so you could have as many weapons as you wanted. Because that bugged me. Like, you can only pick up 2 weapons at any one point.
Should have been a lot. They should have stuck to the main mechanics and just made like new levels, added bits and bobs, new bad guys. That's it.
Yeah, but even then, they gave you whatever weapons you needed for whatever sections that you came across.
Oh yeah, you knew if a rocket launcher was coming up, you
needed
I'm going to need this. Like.
Yeah. But it was okay. It was a standard issue first-person shooter, which when you look back, that's all that Duke Nukem was. It just had swearing, boobs, and gore.
Yeah, you know, I never bought it brand new. I got it for like £4 at CEX. So
Yeah.
for that, I don't see how anyone could complain.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I got it cheap as well. So maybe if I'd paid like 50 quid for it, I
50
might be a
quid.
bit pissed off.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
But
fair.
you know, the thing is though, we grew up in a time where you would pay 50 quid for road rash.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
And then,
I remember my nan dying, and like the money that was in her purse got split between, and I used my bit to buy Mortal Kombat 3. Now
Yeah, I
that's a
remember.
game that can get repetitive real quick. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if somebody paid £40 now for an arcade beat 'em up,
mentally.
yeah, like, but people don't, you know, like even you know, Nintendo NES games, like, you know, you'd buy, like, everyone knows Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Imagine paying £50 for that.
Yeah, and then that's what you've got to play for the rest of like the next month before you could even think about affording a new one.
Well, that was why Blockbusters and things. But I mean, well, we never had a Blockbuster as a kid when young, so we could only like buy games. You know, whereas with that, it was just one of them.
Yeah, no, there was a Blockbusters. Do you remember?
There was, but never had an account, like, because we used to have our neighbours get them.
Yeah, I remember I used to rent. It was like a boxing game for the Master System. Fuck knows, it was just going to be called like Master System
like,
Boxing or something.
Yeah, or then like it'd be like Michael Vander Holyfield, like or Mike Tyson when he first come around and that.
I used to like it because there was a character in it that had blonde hair and silver shorts, and I thought it was Flash Gordon because of the Rocky Horror Picture Show, whereas Flash Gordon was there in silver underwear.
What was the boxing game on the Dreamcast with Afro Thunder?
Ready to Rumble.
Whoa!
That was a mint game. I love that one, man. It's time to dance. It's time to dance.
That's the one, no. And kick, punch. It's all in the mind.
Parappa the Rapper.
Oh, Parappa.
Yeah, man. And the sequel. I never really got into the sequel, but everybody loved it.
I didn't even know
Jammy Lammy or something like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No.
Jet Set Radio.
Yeah, man. Or for our American viewers, Jet Grind Radio. Weird that is. Yeah, Jet Set Radio makes more sense to me. But hey. But yeah, that was a mint game. Was it Dr. K? Was he the DJ who would like introduce the levels?
Dude, man.
Yeah, man. Oh, looks like I'm looking for a secret item here. What's going on? I need to remember this, because if there is a secret item here, I'm going.
Press A after every square.
Tap, that's it.
Tap, square, tap,
maybe not.
I'm sure it's a rare. No, there is a rare candy back there.
I'm sure there's something.
There's a rare candy. It's I'm sure it's in the middle line to the right.
Yeah, I think so as well. Looking back, unless I've already got it and didn't.
There's a rare candy in his garden.
Looks like I've paused to look up on Google if there's an item in that garden or something.
If you go back in that door now,
Pikachu was like, "What the fuck, man?"
Oh, are you going back?
No.
I love the fact you could just walk into anyone's house, like.
And it's like in The Legend of Zelda, where you just like walk into someone's house, break all their pots in case there's money hidden in there, and then leave.
You can even throw a pot at them as well, I don't mind.
I remember the Game Boy Legend of Zelda. Is it Link's Awakening? The one with the egg? Can't remember. And you can steal from the shop by running around the shopkeeper, but then it changes in-game name to Thief. I was like, start that again.
I love Easter eggs like that.
Yeah, me too. Some good stuff, man. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so I don't know. I think at this point in the game, like I've made one tiny mistake here. Normally, what I do is I put a counter at the bottom so that whoever I'm talking to doing this can see how many Pokemon we've got so far, and I've done it the wrong way around. But that's my fault. I think here I'm on 20 Pokemon somewhere there. So there's a long way to go.
What was happening with your Pikachu then? Like when it was showing his face, he was jumping up and down. What was that about? So I never played Yellow.
So when in this one, this is the first introduction of the friendship mechanic, kind of. So if you have Pikachu at the top of your party, use him to win battles, give him items and stuff, your relationship with the Pikachu goes up. I don't.
Because wasn't it to do with the fact that in the series he kept refusing to touch the Thunderstone?
Yeah,
and you need him to be happy to touch it and stuff like that.
No, Pikachu, as far as I know, stayed Pikachu in the series. He never evolved. He didn't want to, but he also wouldn't listen to Ash at the start.
Oh yeah, he was a little bastard.
Yeah. So, and then Ash saved him from the Fearos or whatever it was, and then Pikachu was like, "Oh, actually, you're pretty cool. It's fine now. I'll be your friend." So that's sort of replicated here. But that went on, as far as I know, in the later games. And apparently, I could be wrong. So that's the goes on about to catch an Abra, to catch Mew. I could be wrong, but apparently in Gold and Silver, it's in that, and certain Pokemon evolve based on the friendship level, and I had no idea.
Yeah, I do know there is something about that because of things like Jigglypuff, Togepi.
Yeah.
And it's really annoying because he's such a shit Pokemon. Right,
Trigger warning.
Shit. He's really pointless, man. I think it's about like level 32 before he learns tackle or something like that. Like, you could put it against a Magikarp, a level 5 Magikarp, and it would lose. Like, it would get splashed to death. He seems quite happy, like, he seems to be there tugging on the air, right?
Yeah, man. He's got his rock fist squatting on. So
he's at a concert. He's got his devil horns up his head banging.
That's it, man. It's electrifying. So yeah, I've got currently pre-recorded. I think I've got another 30 of these videos all ready to go, all about an hour in length. So the point being that they're just for like this podcast style videos where it like although the video is going on in the background, it's more about just chilling and talking and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm happy with that, man.
Yeah,
right, Can you get more than? I imagine you could get more than a few of these, can't you? More than 2 people.
Yeah. There's 7 episodes out already because this is number 8. And if you go back, I think the last one, the audio quality wasn't the best. But do you remember?
You've got to experiment finding, yeah.
Do you remember Zatoon? I don't really want to give his name away.
I think I know you mean.
Well, I'll just say black guy that grew up around near us. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. He was on the last one, and we were talking about South Park actually at the end of it. And we were talking about. And
now you could tell him about penis monsters too.
Well, yeah, exactly. We talking about. I asked him what his favourite episode of South Park was, and I was like, "Well, mine's got to be the Tree Fiddy episode. I think the Tree Fiddy episode just holds up time and time again." Tree Fiddy, like I just gave him $1 a week before.
The succubus.
Yeah,
the goddamn succubus.
That's it.
Finish. That's what saved the day.
I love it, man. And then he said, no, his favourite episode was the one with Indiana Jones, where they keep fucking up all the Steven Spielberg movies, George Lucas movies. Sorry.
They're traumatized by watching.
Yeah,
get raped by that.
Yeah, you fucked me.
The fact that, like, Oh, and then they do the same from Deliverance, don't they? Like, squeal, piggy, squeal.
That's it. So, what's your favourite episode of South Park?
I'll tell you something. I love South Park. I've got loads. I still love the one with Jennifer Aniston, like where they're with the rainforest, like, and this is nice. You just smack him on the head. Did you know that Jay Leno does the meows for Kitty as well?
Yeah, and
George Clooney's the dog.
George Clooney's the dog, yeah.
And he also plays the doctor in the movie.
Yeah.
But, do you know the Jerry Seinfeld? Is it?
Yeah.
That's the guy from. He loved the show, like the first few episodes, so much that like he really wanted to be in it. So they offered him a choice of being background turkey number 7 or background turkey number 8, and he wouldn't have it. And they were like, that's your choice.
Fair play.
The Starving Marvin episode.
Yeah.
The earlier ones I think are just brilliant. Like, I mean, the show has had to evolve with time, but it's still funny.
Yeah.
But like, I still love the classics. It's not like how, to me, The Simpsons should have ended with a movie. I can't bear The Simpsons no more.
No, it's had its day, isn't it?
Once Homer has a funny moment every now and then.
Yeah.
That's it. But you know what I mean? I could watch all The Simpsons, brilliant. But where the South Park, like the episodes with the trolling, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, man. I mean, you definitely wrote. Defo right about The Simpsons, and with South Park, I think my only issue is, like you say, it had to change, and I don't watch live TV ever. So because South Park is a weekly topical thing now, by the time I watch it, whatever it's talking about is old news. So I've missed the joke, where the first like few series were just their own contained little stories, so they still hold up months and months and years after they've aired.
Yeah,
but,
because
what
South Park do is basically, like the day before it's to be released, it's worked on constantly for the 6 days before, so that anything that happens over that, like with the one, was it called The Night Before the Last or something, where President Obama wins again and they make it look like a heist and everything. They worked on that all throughout that, so that they could get, direct speeches from it in.
Yeah,
but they also had to make another episode with it in case that Obama had lost and that McCain had won.
Yeah.
And that's how they go. That's what I love to it. They stick to the...
exactly.
Like, the episode Pick, where they take the mick out of that Charles Dickens novels. Great Expectations.
Yeah.
Like, they hate that episode so much that they've told Comedy Central never show a repeat of it, and it has never been repeated on Comedy Central. I love it because the creators are proud of it. They're not money grabbing. They're not this. They're not that. They'll push the boundaries. Like the thing with Muhammad, they were so pissed off with the episodes of 199 and 200, where they were made to censor him, considering when they did the Super Best Friends episode,
they put him in there, no problem.
And nothing was said, and they were going mad about it, like, so that's to try and turn it into a joke, and they were fuming about it.
Well, it's
because it's pride. It was their baby, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, and they just do what they want. I mean, do you remember the fuss? Because I mean, they've been making, fair enough, in seasons, but they've been making weekly episodes by, like you say, slaving for 6 days a week, and then they missed one, didn't they? And
they've only ever missed one deadline.
Yeah, that was a big thing for them. Like, they were proper upset about the fact that they had to miss the deadline. But hey, it's not bad going, is it? Was it on 20-something season now? 21, 22 seasons, maybe? Maybe more?
No, it's getting on. It's getting on. I remember getting, banned from the first thing because we
called each other a dildo. Yeah, straight away. I mean? First episode, Mum walks in, here's me call you a dildo.
You know what I mean? And it's things like, they enforce us like, there's a new episode for a new cartoon, which we saw during The Simpsons. Like, it was advertised during The Simpsons. That's the only one as well. I'm sure that's the only one to be made completely out of construction paper and stuff. Like, they did it all themselves.
That you can tell when you watch it.
But that's what I loved about it. It was brilliant. The fact for them while they're walking to turn their heads at an angle.
That was we were like, whoa.
What episode of South Park do you hate the most?
Do I hate them? To be honest, all of the Game of Thrones type ones.
They weren't that keen on that because I'm not into Game of Thrones.
No, me neither. There's a couple of good bits in there. Like, I love the Garden of Betrayal. That kills me. When the man's shouting at the window like, he's going to betray you. Shut the fuck up. Get out of my garden. I love that bit.
Mind your own business. I'm trying to have a private conversation.
Hey, brought another kid in here earlier, betrayed him.
I like the fact of how as well the security guard's like, he just started to like him. We just started to get to know the character and you've killed him off.
Which is true. I watched the first 2 seasons, first season and a half of Game of Thrones. I gave up, it was boring. Trigger warning.
Did and the fact it took ages for the dragons to come and everything, I just thought, you know what? It's not like Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad, it become a big thing, and I was hearing about it 3 seasons in, and I thought, I'm not going to start watching it now. I'll wait for it all to come out and binge watch it, and I loved it. Breaking Bad, absolutely brilliant.
Did ya? Loved it.
I love it. Absolutely fantastic. I recommend that to anyone.
I've watched the first season. It was all right. It just wasn't my cup of tea.
But it's after that it gets good. You get attached to the characters. Plus, Brian, there's one scene, to be fair, where he's shouting at his wife, and there's a pizza. He's bringing a pizza back. He's shouting at his wife, and he throws the pizza, and the pizza box just frisbees perfectly up onto the roof. Like, so I thought, like, sweet, we'll keep it in. And apparently as well, that pizza box stays there. I don't know whether it does or doesn't, you know, but like it just frisbees onto it. It's brilliant.
Was it?
But yeah, like it's if you watch it and get into it, the last season is absolutely fantastic.
I might give it another crack at some point. Like,
I recommend it.
is it?
Like,
What's his name? Brian Cranston.
Cranston.
Yeah, mate.
That's why, like, they were so pissed off with Godzilla because he was like supposed to have the main role.
Yeah.
And he died like 40 minutes into the film before anything that really happened. Like,
In it. But he's a brilliant actor. Absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, he is.
Even back in his Malcolm in the Middle days, like, I know it was a comedy role, but some of the anguish that he went through as like the dad and husband, like, it was brilliant.
There was bits where he was like, nah, that's not him. He looks completely unrecognisable. Like, you know, I love him to bits.
Yeah, fantastic actor. Very, very well done.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's not that I didn't enjoy the first season. It just was. It was like, a good 6 out of 10. So I was like, all right, I ain't too fussed about the next season. But everyone tells me I made a mistake and I should have watched a bit more.
This series, I hate watching an episode to wait a week for another one.
Yeah.
Get bits like, I've got to watch. I've been on about for ages. American Horror Story and Stranger Things. I really want to give those a go because I love my horror and that.
Yeah.
You ever watched the ABCs of Death?
No, I have not, though. A few people recommend that to me as well.
Some of those.
ABCs of Death.
Yeah, they're like, they get some like directors and that, and then they get 26 directors. They all get given a letter and have to make a word from that letter and make a little short about that, like, you know, like M's mannequin, and like there was one like G, I think it was gluttony or greed, something like that. Oh, it was disgusting, but it was brilliant.
Only three wanks.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
But like you were saying a second ago,
smash the Pidgey, one hit KO.
Totally fucking fucked it. He did. But like you said a minute ago about when you have a series of things and you're having to wait until the next episode, that's one of the things that made me quit on Game of Thrones so early, because they just dragged everything out. Even though I was watching them one after the other, I was like, nothing's changing. Like, they're just filler episode after filler episode. And the bit where I finally like realised I'd given up was that little dude's name? I'm gonna piss off Game of Thrones fans now. Yeah, is he Tyrone Lannister?
I don't know his name in the thing, but yeah. I know you.
Yeah, there's a bit like they were all sat in this camp, talking about this big army that was coming to get them. I was like, oh, this is finally going to be epic. Like, I was expecting some big ass Lord of the Rings battle. They're finally geared up. Battle comes. Yes, it's going to happen. Fucking Peter Dinklage is running alongside, and one of the horses on his team runs past him, hits him in the back of the head, and knocks him out. And you wake up like with him after the battle.
Oh no.
And I'm like, so the whole battle's over. He only survived because everyone thought he was already dead. So I was like, nah, that's done it for me. That has like.
Well, I haven't seen the Twilight, but obviously I've seen the backlash of when it comes to the final battle. Have you seen and heard about that?
What, Twilight?
Yeah.
No.
Right, there's this big, massive battle.
Yeah.
You know, the vampires and wolves are killing each other, this and that. And then it skips back to the beginning of the battle, and that was just a vision of what was going to happen. Then they make some sort of like treaty.
What?
I'm like, how fucking cheap would that be? I never wanted to get into them anyway, because I just thought, nah. She's the most basic actor. She's got one monotone face.
Yeah, her face never changes, does it?
Yeah, you know what I mean? You could stab her and sexually please her at the same time. Actually, stabbing her might do. And she'd just be like, you'd be like, are you liking it? Are you not? What do I do?
Give me
and
some
even
feedback.
Then she'd say a monotone voice. Yeah. And you were like, is that sarcastic or not?
Yeah, Twilight was not for me.
I hate cheap things like that, you know. Oh, dear.
Yeah, I like things that deliver. I mean, that's why I like the Lord of the Rings films. I've never sat and read the books, so I'm not going to lie. I've read The Hobbit. But
books are really good.
I just haven't got the attention span for it. And then like in Lord of the Rings, when there's a battle, there's a fucking battle, and you get to watch it, and you get to see people getting stabbed. It's ice. It's really well done. And then like you say, that's not so much.
Well, the battle with Endgame, I was quite happy with that. You know, I mean,
yeah, it was all right.
I'm not the Marvel films, to be honest. I don't like the big collaborations, get them all in, you know, because that's why I've seen the film for so long, because I wanted to get all these actors. But you know, I prefer, you know, like a Spider-Man film, prefer an Iron Man film, you know. But I thought the battle on that delivered. You know, it was good. You got into it, man. You was like, come on, fuck them up, man. Come on.
Yeah, it was good. The thing, obviously, Endgame potential spoilers warning. I'll try to keep it spoiler free as much as I can, just in case. But
they haven't watched Endgame by now. They deserve to have it spoiled.
it's the way that the battle came to an end. I think that happened too early. I think they could have done a bit more.
I thought it could have. The battle should have gone on a bit
longer. Yeah. But you know, still was good. Speaking of TV series, have you watched a thing on Netflix called Love, Death and Robots?
No.
Dude, it's weird, but in a good way. Like
they do a robot sex scene like the puppets in Team America.
Kind of.
Yes, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of.
I'm watching it. I'm ending this right now. Thanks. See you later. I'll see you all on a flip flop.
It's about it's not very long. It's like 10-15 episodes, maybe a bit more. But each one is different from the last. Like it's lots of short stories, all by animators, like CGI work. And some of them, some are a bit mediocre, but some of them are fucking insane. Like not only just from an animation point of view, but like the storytelling and the way they've done it. But I couldn't describe it to you if you asked me to, because each one is like radically different. So like
I get what you mean.
The story of the first episode, depending on where you live, actually, in different countries they've put the stories in a different order for some reason. But the story for the first episode on the UK Netflix is like about this group of people that go around capturing monsters, and then they kind of link the brain of the human together with the monster, and they like put them in a big pit and like they fight, but using the monsters as their own bodies.
Yeah.
But then the next episode is about like post nuclear wasteland. It's like totally different. So
it's like how American Horror Story series is completely different.
Yeah, completely separate stories. They're not related in any way. But I recommend watching that. Yeah, some seriously good stuff. And you don't need to pay a crazy amount of attention to it either. You can just kind of have it on.
Speaking of monsters fighting, have you watched Godzilla King of Monsters?
I have not. No, is it good?
Yeah, it's good. I think they should have definitely had a lot more fighting. And one main problem I've always had with it is I don't want to see them fighting in the dark. I want to see them fighting in the day where you can see a lot more detail.
Yeah.
I understand the detail's probably easier for them to do with the dark.
Yeah.
Apparently they are actually going to be doing as well. Godzilla versus King Kong. Which, if he's on Skull Island, I imagine there's going to be a lot of it. But it was good, you know, and there was a lot of, because I love the original Godzillas, you know, I love the Japanese Godzillas. And, you know, I loved all my old B movies, like I used to watch with Dad on a Sunday, you know, Attack of the Giant Octopus, where you could see the strings holding up these fake arms. But I loved proper, you know, when general props were used, like more than CGI, like Aliens films, they look so much brilliant, like, you know, because also as well, that helped, you know, like the legs had to be a man in a suit, but so they could only shoot that, but it helped make them be more creative with the camera angles, not just we could stick a camera here and we can add everything we want to.
Limitation.
You know, you had to work with what you had, and they got the best out of it.
Yeah, limitation breeds creativity. Makes you try harder at what you're doing.
Yeah, and like I said, I was happy with a lot of the references. You know, it stuck a lot to the roots.
Yeah.
No.
I definitely agree with what you're saying, that I prefer physical effects over CGI. There's two reasons. One is what you said, like the creativity side of it. But two, no matter how hard they try, CGI always looks like CGI. Or special.
You know, you can. You watch like you watch the latest Predators and the early ones, you could just. I'll tell you something. If you ever want to have a laugh, look on YouTube at the first prototype of Predator.
Let me write that down. So YouTube, first prototype of Predator.
Yeah. Jean-Claude Van Damme was offered the role of that, but he didn't like the fact he had to wear a mask, so he turned it down. So that's when they had to adapt it all, because they had I can't remember his name. He died as well. He was massive. He was like 6'8". So like, see, we'll use him. I think he also may have played Nemesis.
Don't know. I don't know the names of the actors, isn't he? Other than Arnie.
He's a tall black dude, like, man. And I might be wrong, but another cool thing as well about Nemesis was like that was the machine gun they gave him, the minigun, was actually off an army helicopter. It was a real minigun, and it was heavy as hell. So they had to like weigh down his left boot, like because they gave him massive boots just to make him a bit taller.
Yeah.
That was one of my favourite of the Resident Evil films, Nemesis. But I was gutted with how little there was of him.
Yeah,
Nemesis,
that's always the way.
When growing up, Nemesis out of all the Resident Evils, like that and Scissor Man scared me. Like, I remember having to take down my Nemesis post. On one side was Nemesis, the other was Jill Valentine, and I had to turn it round because when I turned the light off, his yellow eyes were like.
You can still see him.
They've got to recreate that. But how scary they made. Well, I call him Mr. Blankface, but
Mr. X.
Mr. X. How scary he was. My first two playthrough of Leon and Claire, I was scared that game. That game, more scared than I ever got when I first started Five Nights at Freddy.
Yeah.
More scary than, that. When you'd hear his footsteps and you'd be like, shit, I really need to go this way. But it looks like I may have to go around the other way. So, which do I do? And then you'd get to the door, and he'd open the door just as you get into, and then you'd hear that. Or especially if you're in the main hallway, and you'd be like, what? Where is he? I'm looking for him.
Yeah, because like you come through whatever door, and you could never quite tell which, like, is he going to come down the stairs? Is he already down here? Am I running at him by mistake?
I think a lot of it was programmed to be like, a bit of luck. Like, I think sometimes maybe there is a video actually that was done. I never finished watching it about
what he does when he's off camera.
They took it all apart and they focused on Mr. X off camera.
Yeah, I've watched that video. It's good.
Your sounds like you're shooting your guns and that, he does react to that.
Yeah, but he also does.
He hits zombies out the way and things like that. Like, he does nudge them. He don't just walk through things. He does.
Yeah.
Interact with. Like, they did such a brilliant job with that game.
He does also, like, he can teleport around the map.
Yeah,
he
can.
So if he's, like, in the middle of nowhere and you shoot your gun, he'll move closer to you without having to do the full path. But, But they had to do that, they had to keep him on your tail.
Yeah. Because otherwise it'd be too easy to run away from him. Because, like, if you don't fight him, you can get away from him quite easy. Turn and run.
Yeah.
Simple as. But that's like... What really fucked me up was the fact that on my first run, I thought it's going to be stingy with ammo. So I didn't kill as many zombies. I did a lot of knee shots, just get them down, run past them.
Yeah.
Lickers, I crept past. But then he'd walk into a room which you'd have to run through.
And there's a liquor in there.
There was a liquor in there.
Yeah.
So, that's why, like I said, that's things that they're for. To make the game all that. When you've got an unlimited ammo, which is why, to be fair, as much as I was angry because I did about 4 attempts of beating the game on hardcore, first of all, I thought it was under 3.5 hours on the first run.
Yeah.
I did it on like a 3 minutes too. I was, what? I did it again. I did it under 3 minutes, but I think I used too many saves. I was like, what? Then I did it under the 3 hours. Then I think it turned out it was actually 2.5. Was it 2.5 hours on the first one and then 2 on the next?
I think it's the other way. 3 hours first one, 2.5 on the second.
When I finally did do it, I was like, why isn't it give it me? And then I realised you're not allowed to use any infinite ammo, only the knife. And I was so pissed off that I haven't actually played the game since. I mean, I haven't even... I tried one of the Fourth Survivor things as the extras.
Yeah.
Actually, I might give those a go, and I might have a go at filming.
I haven't played the Fourth Survivor thing yet. Like,
I played one. It's really hard.
I've
the
done.
One I played, which you play one of the people who goes to get the virus off William, and then
Right.
you've got to escape, and you've got to be tip top with your ammo. A lot of it is getting, knowing when to shoot, knowing when to run.
Yeah. I mean, as I've played through Resident Evil like you did, like several times, you do start to realise that as long as you ain't like going crazy, there's enough ammo throughout the whole game. But even then, when I was doing my run, like my hardcore run,
didn't you?
Yeah, I've done it, and then I've done it again on the second playthrough, and then I did it. When you do, so I did it like Leon Claire, and then I went back to do Claire's. But from what I can tell, when you do it with Claire on the first scenario, you don't get anything extra for it. You already unlocked it by doing it with Leon. I was like, oh, that's shit. I thought you would get like something else on top of that. So
one thing I didn't like as well was that in the first Resident Evil 2, there was a bit where you'd come and you'd have a choice. You either like picked the weapon or picked to have more inventory space.
Yeah.
And then on the second playthrough, you got what was left over. Like, I think there should have been a lot more interaction between the playthroughs, and I think that could have definitely worked on having it like where, they bumped into each other a bit more. Like, you could hear a door. You're coming through a door. You could hear a door close.
100%.
Or was that Claire going through? You know what I mean? You could have had it where you could be like, especially when you're on the third floor, you could have had it at some point. You just look down and you could see Mr. X chasing Claire or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot more like that.
And I think they also buggered up the start of the second scenario because, like,
it starts way too late in.
Yeah, like
in the fact that
they meet at that gate.
Yeah, they meet at that gate. Like, that's 10 seconds.
For the one,
split up. Yeah, with the first playthrough, especially when you first do it, it's a good 40 minutes to get to
exactly.
that point.
Yeah. I think that they missed a trick there. But I do understand that they want to, they make the second playthrough not necessarily specifically shorter, but a bit more streamlined.
Yeah.
But like you say, they did miss a trick. Like, to me, certain things they could have done, like especially if you're looking at it as so A and B are one game rather than two separate games. There should be maybe even lockers, the ones with the codes on. You should be able to maybe, right, I've got spare ammo of this, I'll leave it in this cupboard, and then on the second one, I can pick it up. On
the first one, I ballsed up so much with I never got to use the key twice because I didn't figure out the fact that you could obviously get back up. Like, from the sewage, you can get back into the police station. Never figured that out.
Didn't you?
Nah. Like, I never got the gun from the STARS office.
Bloody hell. Mental.
I had it once happen glitched where he came into the STARS office.
Yeah.
I was messing around, like where I was messing around, like, poking my head through the door. He'd walk off, take a shot, take his hat off or whatnot, and then pop back in. But as I was at the door, he hit me, and he went into the office, and I come out.
Oh, nice.
He was stuck in the office, like.
Mental. Speaking, just in case, just to make you aware, there's only under 2 minutes of video time remaining. But but the second in the first playthrough, you got the zombies in the library, and I always clear that room out because later when
so annoying.
They piss me off because when you're trying to move the cupboard and Mr. X is after you, it's a pain in the ass. In the second playthrough, am I mistaken in thinking that they can come out into the main hall?
Not into the main hall, but if you go into the, where you get the statue from.
Yeah.
The statue, they can break into there. Then when you get into the one, they can break through there as well.
So
I don't think they can actually come into the main hall. Don't quote me on it.
I think they can because I was playing one time and it was only on the second playthrough.
You know,
Like-
'cause you do get zombies in there, though, don't
Yeah, you do exactly.
you? In there.
It was when it was when Mr. X was chasing me about in the second playthrough. He opened the door and knocked one of the zombies over the balcony, and I was like, "What the fuck was that?" And I realised it was raining zombies, and then like Mr. X was chasing me, so I had to skedaddle. But yeah, we're down to 30 seconds. And one thing I would like to add, I wish they'd put on so you could kill Mr. X and get items from him, like when you take him down to a knee.
Yeah, especially if you do it on hardcore. You should be
Yeah.
able to take him to a knee, then put him on his ass.
Yeah, and then get an item off him. Definitely.
And you got an item to,
Is
If
it?
it's just enhanced guns and stuff. But
Exactly.
happy
Right,
days.
and so we're 10 seconds out. So, YamYamMan, if you want to say goodbye.
All I will say is, as usual, I will see you on the flip-flop, Jurgen Clip-Clop.
Nice one. And if you have been watching this long, thank you very much. Please consider doing all the things that YouTubers do. YouTubers ask you to do, sorry. And make sure you go over to the YamYamMan's channel and hit the subscribe button on there as well. And we will catch you next time. See you later. Bye.
It's been a pleasure.